Hello, my name is Kat. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a wrap-up. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today's video we're going to talk about some books that I read the last couple months and some books that I'm in the middle of. Let's start saying that I have only one audio, one ebook, and two physicals for the last couple months, and then I have 4 books that I'm in the middle of. So let's start with the audio. I did read Becoming a Michelle Obama, and this one is a memoir about Michelle Obama before and after she became the First Lady. One thing I want to say about this book is that if you're planning to pick it up, you need to know that it's going to have political views in the book, because she was the First Lady and her husband was having a very specific political view, so she's going to support that view. Overall, I think I like it. I did like the narration. I did like more the first half of the book than the second half, maybe because the first half of the book is more focused on her life, the relationship with her family, how she went to college, how she met Barack Obama, and the second half is more focused on her life during when she was the First Lady. I think they try to balance a little bit, and I think they make a good job trying to balance and focusing more on what it was her experience before and after she became the First Lady. Overall, I think it was good, and once again, if you want to pick it up, it's a good book, but you need to know that it's going to have some political views that you may not agree, or you may agree with them. Moving on. So then we have the El Pecador of the Oxford. It's about this woman that she's a psychologist, and her husband was put in prison because he committed horrible crimes. And after 3 or 4 years, she started receiving some gifts, and something weird was going on around her house. So she decided to call her brother, and her brother put her a bodyguard. After that, kind of the story progress. If I would recommend it, no, I did not like it. I will not recommend it. What make me finish this book is because I have read it. I read it with my friends with the book club. It was our optional reading for the book club, and kind of helped me a little bit to finish it, because we always was like texting back and forth about the book. So that helped me to finish quicker the book. Anyways, I didn't like the writing style. I didn't like how she write her characters. The ways that they talk is like, I don't think real people will talk like that. And then all the mystery and horror that I was expecting, I didn't see it maybe until the half of the book. And even when they appear, they will still a little weak on those elements. The first part of the book is more like a romance, and it has so many spicy scenes that I didn't like it. So I think it's not for me. The book is in Spanish, so anyways, if you don't read Spanish, you will not be able to pick it up. And if you read Spanish and if you like spicy scenes, maybe you will like it. But it was not for me. Let's move on. So next one we have Master and Margarita. That's actually the pick for my book club, July and August. This one is a little hard to explain, and I talk about this book in my book haul, and I said I will try to make a better description in my wrap up, but I don't think I'm able to describe this book. I already think about it, and let's say that the story begins with 2 people that works in a theater, and those 2 people are sitting in a park, and some strange person came and some things bad happened to them, and from there everything kind of go around those 2 people, around the theater, around the same area. The story is is a very satiric way to talk about the government and the high social status in Russia during the Stalin time. So this the best I can say about, or give you a better description. I don't know if I can do it. I did like it. I highly recommend it. It's a little crazy, a lot of things happen, it's a little messy, and you need to know basic history about Russia during the Stalin government to understand what's going on in the book, because he's criticizing a lot of aspects of the government, a lot of aspects of the religion during the time, a lot of aspects about social status and people with a higher social status. And it makes a lot of reference to real people, real places, real events. And this book, it was published many years after the author died, because all because of all of that, like he was criticizing a lot of the government during the Stalin time. And I think that's all I can say about this book. It was a little messy. I'm still thinking about it. We didn't have our meeting yet. We're going to have it in the next couple of days, I think. Maybe that will help me to kind of set what I think about the book or what it was about, because like I said, a lot of things happen in this book. Is a little chaotic, but I think it makes his point, and I think it deserves the status that it has, because it's a very popular classic book, and I will leave it like that. I would recommend it. The next one is Gods of Jade and Shadow. So, Gods of Jade on Shadow is about Cassiopeia, and it's a girl that she lives with her mom and her grandfather. And the grandfather, make her do a lot of things. She doesn't treat her. He doesn't treat her really good, and she's trying to escape. And one day she open a trunk, and she finds something there, and then she met the god of death. And after that, many things happen. Like the story begins from there. And did I like the story? Yes. Did I would recommend it? Yes. What I like about the story, I like the mix of culture and religion that she described in the story. How Catholic Church has a lot of influence on the people in Mexico during the 1920s and even now, and how that influence doesn't take away the culture from Mexico and is kind of mixed together. You can see it on the story, that mix of culture and religion. Uh, I think that's what the aspects that I like the most. You kind of met some gods and met some magical creatures and all of that, that they are very popular in the Mexican culture, and I give it a really um, big points because of that. What I did not like it, or is a negative point for me for this book, is that it's a young adult, and usually young adult books lately, they don't really work for me anymore. So that make my enjoyment of the story less enjoyable than I expected, if I can say it that way. But it's not a bad story. I would recommend it, but like I said, it's most focused on young adult, and I think young adult people will appreciate better the story than me. But overall, I did like it, and I think that's all I read these couple months. Not too many, but it's okay. Let's move on to the books that I'm in the middle of. So those are four, and the first one that I'm going to show you is Jacqueline in Paris. This I talked about not long ago. I don't know why I'm not able to pick it up. It's about Jacqueline when she was younger and she went to Paris to study. And somehow, or for some reason, I'm not interested to read it right now. And I usually like historical stories, and I'm still in the 10% of the book. So I will try to make a time for this book. I was hoping I can find it in my Libby, like an audio, but I actually want to read it like in a physical way. Maybe that's why I keep postponing this. That I don't want to do it in audio, but I want to do it in a physical. all things going on in my head, but this is 10% only done. Hopefully I will finish by the end of the year. Another one that I kind of showed you before is New York Stories. I didn't have any progress on this. I read only 2 short stories, and I cannot find a way to include the short stories in my reading without stopping what I'm reading in the moment. What I want to say is, like, usually I tend to pick up one book, finish the book, and then move on to the next one. And since a short story, I don't want to read the whole short stories in like continuous. I want to read them like in times, but I'm not finding the way to put them in the middle. So if you have an advice on or a tip to put them in between my reading, let me know, please, because I really want to read these short stories, and I have plenty of these kind of books in my library. So I have to find a way to introduce the short stories in the middle of my regular reading. Other one that kind of go in the same way is this one. This one has, I think, 4 or 5 sagas included, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe it's more than 5. There are plenty sagas on this in this book. And the one that I was reading is the Eagles saga. I think I'm in the middle of the saga, and I think I have to start all over again because I don't remember almost anything of it. And this one is the same. I don't want to read them all the sagas in one time, like the whole book in once. I want to read one saga, then stop, and then come back and read another saga and something like that. But I want to start again with this Eagle saga and finish it. But I have to start all over again because I don't remember much of it. And then another one that I'm in the middle of is this one. This is the history of The Lord of the Rings, Part 1, The Return of the Shadows. So these books, I have 4 of them, and it's the history of the trilogy of The Lord of the Rings. And they have other books the same format. And it's a book that Christopher Tolkien published, the drafts that he found when his father was writing The Lord of the Rings. Like, so you have some sections that her father changed his mind in the story, that sections that he changed the names, changed the characters, and all of that. And it's kind of interesting to go through it because he write down what his father put and what he understand, what he changed. He explained those sections too. I'm in the middle of this book, and this one is just if you want to go deep inside the Lord of the Rings. And I don't know why I didn't finish. I started long ago. Maybe it's because I have to finish first the other books that I have. But so far I'm in the middle, and at least I want to finish the first part, and then when I finish the other books, maybe I will start the second part. And I think that's it. That's all I have. So I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, like always, thumbs up. If you want to know if I post another video, ring the campanita. And thank you for watching. Bye.